Hi everyone, I'm going to do a stripy design today just to show you that if you've got a few nice tiny scraps you can do something with stripes. So I was looking at this, this one would be good too. Can you see that colour is in it? And there. Or this aqua one, and it's a double-sided, different colours. And that is a thick upholstery fabric, but I think I can use a little bit. I think I can. Now I could have this torn edge over the top. I could have that one over top of that. This one here is a nice florally design, but once again it's got a touch of aqua in it and beige and these colours. So that's how come I used these, that they are all put together. Something like that. Now where's my little... See? Doesn't that look pretty? I think that could be quite nice. And you wouldn't need to do much. You've already got 3 nice fabrics. So I think I would start by just popping a pin in and then do those first couple of stitches that are going to hold that all together, and then we'll look at it again and see what we can do. These are both linen and they've got this very strong grain, so I'm trying to use the grain. I cut it on the grain and I'm using the grain to guide me in straight stitches. I'm not very good at straight stitches. I might change my mind, but you know. I like the simplicity of that. Now if I was to use colours, I could use the beiges, the green that's in it, this lovely coffee colour. I could use the teal, and I would start there, or the cream, just the cream. Lots of things we could do. But I'm going to start, what am I going to start with? Whatever's in front of me, I think. Save me digging. I had some of this for the last one. I pop some of that in. Oh, success. Okay. I'm going to start this one on the back. I'm just going to do a little 2 stitches on top of each other here. And now I'm going to bring it through to the front and start one line of running stitch, just in and out like that, and then pull it through. And that will be enough to hold that. We may add more. Now we can't really see that too much. That's how I like to start. I like to start with something that isn't too noticeable, and then we can build from there our colours. Well, I'm just going to continue that line, even though I missed, because it's a bit frayed, just so that I have that straight line. And then I can go back, you see, and do it a different way to hold it. I don't let anything like that disturb me. I'm in the flow of creating, and I don't really care if that didn't work. I'll just think of something else that we can do. You know, that's what I like. I think I might do a few, which is another way to hold them together. You could use a blanket stitch or lots of stitches, but let's just keep it simple. Once we get started here, we'll be okay. See, I'm just going to do a line across, but instead of going one way, I'm going to go the opposite way of the grain. And you know what? I think as I go here, I plan as I go. I'm just going to do a couple of stitches up. And I'll go underneath and take it further over to start another row back. And sometimes I'll do this Oops, sometimes I'll do these long strings and sometimes I'll just peter out. It's just no plan. That's the essence of a slow stitch. If you've got frayed edges, and I love frayed edges, just pick them out if they're really a nuisance. It's a bit wonky. I'm not going to care. I'm not going to go back and undo it. It's okay. See, it's changing it from what I had planned. That's why it's a good idea not to plan. Just let it go. But that's fine. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to hold that together a little bit. Those 3 pieces. A lot of these things work because of the colours used, and that's a really good hint. If you see one fabric that you like and look at the different colours that are in it, they are going to go. So that's what I do. I let the fabric choose what I should be doing with it. I might have finished with that thread. I'll take it through and do a little knot like that. Trim it. Alright, let's see what we got. It'll fit. I quite like it. Alright, well, I'm going to continue that for a start. I'm going to make sure that they're not too tight. But it'll come good with an iron. Alright, leave me with it. I'm just going to join them the same as I did. I might use a different colour now. Let's look too at different shades. Can you see that? I thought that was beige. When I bring it out, it's got a pinky tone. I don't really want that. It's got a sort of a yellowy tone. I would like something more neutral. That's more like that green, isn't it? Might get that one out. But I'm going to use that thread and do a bit more. Okay, you can see I've stitched with 2 different fabrics, 2 different yarns, sorry. See, I've got a goldy colour and this aqua. So that's a start. I'm going to get out my picture here, and I would prefer it's over here, so we get some of this dark floating off that way. I like that. It's got a good balance to me. So what I've done is I put a little, this pencil isn't very good, a little line to say I don't want to go past there in my stitching, because that will be under the frame, so I don't need to. Let me just concentrate on that section, and that's where I want to be. So we've got to start, but I have more thread here on this needle, and I just can't help it. I like to go until I've got to the end. So I'm going to go here, and like I say, I always like letting it guide me. I'm going to do some circles. I'm just going to do running stitch circles around it, because I can see these circular shapes. And I'll do a bit of that till I run out of that thread. And can you see how I'm just following around that edge? I could go outside the edge, whatever I like. And we've started off very subtly. So if we want to bring in more vibrancy, we can. If we wanted to applique something on top of that, we could. And I still haven't decided. That's why I'm just meandering around, deciding on the fly what I might like. I'm just going to go over here and do this one. That might look good too if we used a more dynamic colour. But I like to start off with something that doesn't show very much whilst I'm testing an idea, you see. Now I'm not going to be pedantic about trying to get on the edge and finish them properly. It doesn't matter. But I'll end that off, and maybe I'll do a few more circles, but with an aqua now to make them stand out a bit. Let's have a look at that. What have we got? I've still got this green too. Oh, gosh, I love that green. And I've got this dynamic colour. Is it too much? I do like using it. This one's more green, you see. Not quite right. More bluish would be better if it's a teal. That blue is good too. Perhaps we'll start with the blue. You know, I might also bring some blue in down the bottom here. So I've got a nice long length. I'll do a bit here as well. And you know how I like to find these shapes in there. Look at those, aren't they lovely? Just going to start here. Follow the lines of something. I can see one over here. And that tiny touch of blue on that is really going to go in well. It draws our eye to that design, you see. Not sure where to go now, but when in doubt, keep going. If you get a little loop like that, just put your needle in it and pull it, and hopefully it'll come out. See? Follow this line up as well. I'll go outside the line so I still see that line as it's part of that fabric's design. But I'll just accentuate it a bit and bring that touch of blue in. I can still see the line of the fabric, but I've gone outside of it. I don't need to pull everything out. Well, what am I saying? Pulling everything out. I'm making these things stand out, but only some of them, you know. Oh, I might go up here. Well, you see what I'm up to. I'm echoing this shape up here, bringing it in very, very lightly, just to see what it's like. Keep it no matter what, because that's, I kind of figure you can make it right. So I'm going to do this little circle here, and then I'm going to take this thread and I'm just going to do a couple up there so that I've also done that blue up there. But I'm liking it so far. I've got some teal loaded up now, and I'm just doing some of these darker leaves. You can see here. And I could take it all the way up if I wanted, travel up into the other fabric, or I could just stop there, you know. I will do something. Well, it's coming along. I'll put some darker teal kind of aqua up there. Sometimes I've done two rows, one inside each other. And now I'm thinking I'm going to add some of this green, and then we'll assess and see what we think. So I have added some green, just the same way, around those leaves. And it's nearly done, I think. I don't need to do too much. The fabrics are so pretty. So I'm just popping it here in this. What else does it need? I think it needs something here. Well, that's fine. It needs something here. I haven't quite decided yet. But I'm thinking it'll be maybe a beigey white kind of colour, or I don't know. Let's try. Well, you can see I've added a bit of cream. That helped a bit, but I'm wanting to do a bit more of this, whatever this is, in the foreground. I've just grabbed out some really cool stranded cotton. It's a very cool aqua. Let's see if that can finish it. I'm just going to be doing the same thing, a running stitch.
Well, I think I'm done. And it's a very subtle one, this subtle use of colour. I have enjoyed making it. I really liked the idea of just 3 fabrics and just using running stitch. You know, that's appealing. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to press like and subscribe. We're looking at some photos now of the close-ups, and have a go yourself. Thanks again.